Hey, Toon Army. Wondering what our lineup's going to be? Want to know who's available and who's hurt? You want an in-depth analysis of what to expect from the upcoming match? Then don't sweat it, because you're in the right place. It's time for the Toon Reviews Match Preview Show. Enjoy.
Good evening, all you wonderful people out there in YouTube world. Welcome to the Toon Review, where tonight it is another preview as the games keep coming thick and fast in the Premier League, of course. And Wednesday night sees us go up against, our newish rivals, the Scouse Mackhams, known as Everton. And, of course, the returning Jordan Pickford, which should be very interesting for the game. Indeed, as we always do.
You won't be able to play your piano, Alex, that's for certain.
Yeah, exactly.
No, definitely not.
Yeah. But obviously Danielle not with us tonight because she's got a very, very early start in the morning. But she might well be with us for Fan Forum tomorrow night, making a rare appearance on there. So, as usual, guys, do enjoy tonight's show. Please do hit the like button and tell YouTube that something really good is happening on this channel. And, of course, if you're new and you like what you see, please do hit the subscribe button, which is free to do so. And, of course, the bell, which will let you know when we go live or we upload, as I have done today with a bit of a rant video today about a certain club in Manchester. But if you want to go and see that after the show, please do. It's not often I get to do rant videos, but, just the garbage that was all over social media about Newcastle United today, and Man United should have had this and that and this and that, and it just really boiled me pee. But never mind. We move on. And today we're looking forward to the match. Obviously, we're doing the preview now. We always do it a couple of days before the match anyway. As a weekend game, we do on a Thursday night. So tonight, we're doing the match preview so we can fit the Fan Forum in tomorrow night and get you guys on, have your say on everything Newcastle United and everything that's been going on lately. We'll get a couple of comments in before we get going. Geordie Howeman says, just watched your video from earlier, Paul. I'm just so happy we have a channel with passionate presenters and can speak up for the supporters. Well done. Thanks very much. Irish Bear says, please win Newcastle. Yes, that is what we'll all be saying come Wednesday night. Scepter 007 says, hello, Paul. Would just like to say you're doing an amazing job. Keep up the great work. And one day you'll achieve a lot of success. Thank you very much. Really kind of you to say so. Solo, good evening, all. Loved your accurate rant today, Paul. Those Mancs are deluded. 2 new signings today. I'm sure they will do a great job. Newcastle that beat Everton 2-0. How are the lads? Yeah, Alex, a good young kid signed today.
Yeah, Amadou Diallo on trial. Another youngster through the door. So we got the commercial, what are they calling him? Commercial director, commercial something.
Yes.
He's a something anyway.
He's the commercial guru, I think, is what he's going to be.
Whatever the position is, it's some kind of good position. So that's 2 very good positives today. We're making steps in the commercial department and we're signing another youngster. So it's very, very positive. I've not seen this guy play, but he's played under 15s and under 17s England setup. Been on trial with us and signed a contract. So he's going to join the academy. So fingers crossed, we'll they wouldn't have, with the phase we're in right now and the caliber of youngsters we're signing, they wouldn't have accepted him if he wasn't good enough. So exciting.
It is exciting. I mean, Billy, this just goes to show that, we're building again, aren't we? We're building for the future.
Yeah, because you don't want to be going through transition periods when you've achieved a certain level, and then the players that have got you there drop off. You need players to step right in, and by having a good youth setup and a good young setup, then you avoid all that. And you add signings to them. Obviously, you don't have a homegrown 11, but it's trying to avoid the transition that Man City don't seem to have these days. They seem to go smoothly transition from one side to another, and that's the kind of thing we'll be looking for in the future, I believe, with these new signings coming through the door, young ones.
Very exciting times ahead. Carl says, evening, everyone. Paul's idea of washing your eyes out with lemon juice yesterday was a bad idea. Tell me you didn't. Samsonite, good evening. Peter says, evening, everyone. Loved the rant this afternoon. I agree with every word you said. I hate Man U so much it hurts. Good evening, Ian. Evening to Jacka. Adam, good evening. Hello, Toon Review. Pleased with the point yesterday, but really hoping for the 3 points Wednesday. Any injury news today? it's just the usual. That Isak and, of course, ASM are out for a period of time. I don't think there was any injuries picked up yesterday, judging by what I can gather from the training photos that they sent out in the gym today. Most of them were there. Obviously, a kind of just a general softer session today, obviously, with playing yesterday. But Eddie wanted them in again today just to do a bit of a workout and maybe a bit of a meeting about tactics and stuff like that.
Well, a lot of it's going to be physios and the sports science team judging how the players have reacted to the Man United game, what their fitness levels are like, muscle soreness, what they're outputting today, and that will be a huge factor in who starts on Wednesday, because there might be people who he wants to start who might not be quite. It depends what the fitness staff say.
Absolutely. Got a £5 super chat in from Ian Fleming. Thank you, Ian. Hi guys, please be brought in to Peter Silverstone. He has a good track record and does not cut corners. Yeah.
Well, let's hope he just gets our brands to hatch out in a certain way that we want to find successful.
Indeed, Billy, indeed, and let's just hope he is an absolute, Formula One signing. That's terrible. Anyway, Julie, good evening. Andrew, good evening. Keith says, evening all. We will win on Wednesday, but they don't have a bad defensive record at the moment, so we'll go with 2-0.
But they don't have our defensive record.
Exactly. Geordie Metal, good evening. Adrian, good evening. Colin. Alan says, I can see Eddie giving Anderson and Shelvey game time. I wouldn't be surprised if he starts Anderson and brings Shelvey off the bench to ease him back into it. Billy, can you see him making any changes?
Yes, I think he'll bring Anderson in myself personally. I think he's saying all this now. He'll probably bring Fraser in again, but I hope he brings Anderson in on the left side. He deserves a chance for start. A home game is better than an away one. Against a side that's probably going to put 11 behind the ball, so it might be a chance.
Yeah, well, Don's just saying that. Yeah, with Everton putting everyone behind the ball, hitting us on the counter. Now, I heard a few people suggest today that maybe Callum Wilson is rested on Wednesday. Now, I don't know what to make of it, to be honest. I think we need Callum Wilson right now. I mean, putting Chris Wood in wouldn't make any sense to me. It just wouldn't. I mean, Alex, what do you reckon?
I think we barely got away with it last season when we played Chris Wood for an extended run. I think it required Maxi and other players doing bits, because ultimately he's not good enough as an outfield player for us. I will back him up and suggest that we don't play a system suited to him at all. I think it was still he was a January signing when we were still building an identity, and they thought he would be slightly more useful as a rotation target man, and it's just not quite worked. It's not his fault. Yeah. It's not, just wasn't quite the right match. But it does concern me, because during that run of form, we did have some other players around that could do things. Those players aren't really fit right now. So we've got Wilson, but is he rested? Does he play the first half? Does he play the second half? Does he come on for the final half an hour?
Well, give him the first half. See how the first half goes. If we're a couple of goals up and we're cruising, then maybe he plays about 10 minutes of the second half and he comes off. But I do think we need him for goals.
Yeah, I would agree. It's just a case of depending on how the game goes. When Everton have a few more tired legs, somebody like Callum Wilson's great to bring off the bench. But, at the same time, we could do with him playing in the first half as well. It's a flip of the coin. It's a roll of the dice, whatever analogy we want to throw at it. It's I think Wilson. It's unlikely he's going to play 90, but he needs to play some of it. It's just which some of it.
Yeah,
I think he plays because Chris would have been meeting drinks there 3 tall centre halves, weren't he? I think Wood may play against Spurs.
Considering he hardly ever jumps for headers anyway, does he? Yeah, so he's not going to cause them any problems.
I think Wood may play against Spurs, I've got to be honest, but I don't think...
Really?
Yeah, I do, yeah. I think you'll see Spurs the game that maybe we're not going to go out to win as such, maybe try and hold on for a point.
Really?
So, yeah, I think resting Wilson for that game would be far more beneficial than the one that we've got Wednesday, where we need goals and we need pace up front.
Yep. Absolutely. And pace is going to be very important against Everton, because let's face it, the back line, they're not blessed with it. Tarkowski, Connor Cody there, they're not blessed with pace. So,
Who, sorry?
some guy called Conor Cody. I don't know, but they haven't got pace, and we can utilise that pace that we've got up front right now.
Mikolenko's not terrible, and he's in and around that back line. But yeah, the others are.
But the other two, you know what I mean?
And McNeil's being used as a wing back, so they are trying to address those pace problems to a level. Now, Lampard's not a complete failure. He's struggled, but he's not a moron. He's aware of the deficiencies somewhat.
He manages Everton, Alex. That basically turns him into a moron straight away. Anything to do with that club, quite frankly. Kieran says, coming from Florida for this match. My flight is in 3 hours. I'm so excited. First time in St. James's. Wow, Kieran. That is dedication, man. If you get there, come and see us. Come and see me. I'll be by the Jackie Milburn stand just to the side of the shop before the game.
What do you mean if he gets there?
Statue, not stand.
No, if he gets there on time, Alex. Like without sort of rushing about, you know. I didn't. Well, how to worry a man getting on an airplane, Alex? You know that's fine. Kendo says, "How are the lads?" And how are the chat? Andrew says, "Jurassic Pickford." Good evening to Shamrock Balls. Scott says, "Hi lads, looking forward to the crack and loved your vid earlier, Paul. Thanks, Scott." Spacebar says, "Typical Man United tosh." Up the A1, good evening. Hope you're all well. Hopefully a good win on Wednesday night. We are all three at the match, so hopefully we'll say hello if we can. It'll be good to see you again, guys. Richard says, "Can't make my mind up who I dislike more with their self-entitlement and anti-Toon bias. Man United or Everton. Really hoping to get 3 points on Wednesday." Yep. Johnny Ola says, "The rant video is spot on. Absolute bias from the media. Now let's chew on a toffee." I like that. Chew on a toffee. Toon Dave, good evening to you. Really enjoyed the vid earlier on Man United. Some of the comments on there have been comical to say the least. Defo a penalty for Wilson. Yeah, you know, you're going to get that. You know, there's going to be people that will not have any bad words said about Man United. God forbid. You know, but it is what it is. And I just found the whole thing to be comical today, Alex. I don't know about you, but just some of the comments from pundits and Man United alike about what they were entitled to in the game. No mention of the incidents involving Newcastle. No mention of us hitting the post and the crossbar. None of that. It was all about what Man United didn't get.
Yeah, they are absolutely delusional, and quite frankly, being very petty, very aggressive all over social media, and it's outrageous. Well, if you compare it to our, strange situation against Palace, it's not like Palace had a million chances and hit the post and had really strong parts of the game. No, we saw them off quite well, and we had a disallowed goal that should have stood.
I don't understand, Alice, where we parked the bus. That's what that comment really got me, because I'm thinking, where the hell did we park the bus?
We showed you in the review that the average positions, the possession only dropped off later on when we were tired. We've got a lot of illness in the camp. We're losing a few players. We've got players coming back from injury. That was always going to happen. Always. They're at home. They've spent 200 million on Champions League quality players, and they're not a bad side at all. They're a decent side.
But they're a bunch of whinging, diving cheats.
Well, it's been disproven straight away that the referee had still got his arms raised.
I've seen so many different videos of fans in the crowd. Yeah, fans in the crowd with the camera phones out and
it's irrelevant.
Saying, listen, you'll hear a whistle, and Fabian Schär kicks the ball back.
Still irrelevant. The referee had got his arms in the air, waiting for Nick Pope to take the kick, and then as soon as Ronaldo stole the ball, the ref jogged towards the play to go and sort of stop it. His arms were still up. The penalties shouts are fine. The Sancho one's fair, but then the Wilson one's fair. It's all tit for tat. And as I said in the review, that I think the only two fair score lines are either 0-0 or 1-1. So whichever way you spin that, you do not win that game, Manchester United. You do not. You don't deserve it. You didn't deserve it.
Well, according to them, they do, because they're entitled. Spike Milligan, thank you for your £20 super chat, matey. Great rant. 100% right about Manua. 3-1 NUFC onwards and upwards. And thank you to Peter Joy as well for your £4.49 super chat. Might have a couple of spare tickets on Wednesday if anyone is interested. I don't know, mate. I don't know how it works with. I know there's an NUFC spares on Twitter. I don't know whether.
I'd love to. There's no way I'd get back from work on Thursday morning.
Exactly.
Absolutely no way.
Yeah. Tangy says, I think Everton will park the bus. They will look to counter and stack here and there. Onana is a beast. We will have to watch him on crosses and corners. Hopefully, we will unpick the lock and win. I think, Billy, it might be crucial for us maybe to get an early goal against Everton so that they don't get a chance to park the bus.
Yeah, it's the kind of team we've had trouble against in the recent past. Let's be perfectly honest about it. When Bournemouth put men behind the ball, we struggled to break them down. Crystal Palace were the same. I think Everton will come with the same game plan. The difference is they lack pace at the back. And I think we can kind of expose that. Yep. So that's the difference. And I think if we score early, they'll have to come out of the shell then. I think we could be, quids in for a good win. But it's breaking them down in the first place going to be hard. They have got rugged and hard defenders. Tarkowski's having a fair season. So's Cody to a certain extent. And Seamus Coleman seems to never age. He's got to be 35, 36 now. And yet he still gets a game for them every week. So, yeah, they're going to be hard to break down, but I think if we do, then I think it could be a nice victory for us.
Yeah. Julie's just commented saying this Silverstone is he's now the chief commercial officer at Newcastle United.
That's the word I was looking for.
And apparently he set up a massive deal with Arsenal and Adidas. So I have heard rumblings today that Darren Eales and this new guy, Mr. Silverstone, are both very interested in bringing Adidas back to Newcastle, but we'll have to wait and see what's down the road. I know there's talks going on with Castore because I know Newcastle United, they will have seen all the Ferrari with Castore. See what I did there? Ferrari with Castore. And they will obviously be wanting to put that right. So we'll see. Toon Dave says, can't wait to see little arms flapping on Wednesday. That's if we can pick out his arms on the TV. So glad it's on Prime. Make some of my subscription worthwhile. Yeah, well, if you've got Prime, knock the commentary off. And, of course, listen to Billy Bob Coleman bringing you live and full commentary. Unbiased view from, unbiased might be a bit, but from a Newcastle point of view, instead of everyone hammering us in commentary, turn it off and listen to Billy, and he'll give a fantastic rundown of the game. No doubt about that. AJ says Lampard will be worried taking on the mighty Toon, and he'll likely park the bus. What on earth is Klopp ranting on about now? We don't care. He's just an idiot. He's just an absolute idiot. Lee Smith says, hello, good point yesterday. Barbara, good evening to you. It has to be 3 points on Wednesday due to it being a home game. Yeah, we need to win the home games. We've dropped points recently against Bournemouth and Crystal Palace, of course. So we need to keep accumulating these points. Certainly away points are great away from home against the likes of Man United, etc. But when it comes to playing the St James's, this is now going to turn into a fortress again. Our home and our temple, and this is where we do not lose games and we win games. So I'm really looking for a win on Wednesday night. Ab says we've been great this season, but injuries could stop us getting into Europe.
Yeah, that's an excellent point.
Yeah, January is going to be very, very important, though, isn't it, Alex? Because we've got a few games now until the World Cup break, and then we go into the January transfer window pretty much straight away. And I think Eddie will know the positions that he needs to address and make us stronger. And who knows where we could be, after January window closes, make a real push.
Yeah, I don't think injuries are too much of a concern. As long as they don't hit us too hard in this run of games now, I think this is integral that we can try and get to this World Cup break somewhat intact, still in the top 6, top 8, accumulating some points. And then the lads get a reasonably good rest, and hopefully we can get people like Isak, Shelvey, Maxi all back completely fit, plus whoever we potentially want to bring in January. So it's more about trying to manage these next games. How many is it? I think we've got 3 or 4 before the break now. I'm not sure exactly how many it is. Possibly a bit more. Maybe 4-ish games, something like that. Somebody can correct me. I haven't counted. So we just need to nurse players through this short period of time and try and accumulate as many points as we can, and not really drop too many, and just keep the ball rolling like we did against Man United. Just getting points when we, when we need to, and trying to pick up the wins and grind out results.
Did you guys, speaking of Toon Dave's comment there, did you guys see that photo of Bruno and Callum Wilson on the bikes?
I have seen a photo, laughing their heads off on something.
Yeah, but if you notice, Bruno had his arms tucked into his had his arms tucked inside his shirt.
Like this.
And people are starting to wonder. Yeah, people are starting to wonder whether he's doing a little dig at Jordan Pickford.
Maybe.
You know, the way his sense of humour is and the way he interacts with Newcastle United fans, you wouldn't be surprised if that was the case, would you? I mean, I think it's hilarious, me. Really, really, really funny. So it'll just wind him up even more. We know how wound up he gets coming to St James's Park, and it does get to him. It gets to his game. He's never been on the ball really when he's played at St James's Park, Jordan Pickford. So there's a mistake there definitely because he lets things get to him. Frank says Everton haven't got many goals in them, but good defensively and fight. I just worry we'll struggle to break them down. We have struggled in the past. There's no doubt about that. Tom says, I think we have to go as strong as possible on Wednesday and then make more changes against Spurs. Yeah, I'd probably agree with that. Please no Fraser. He has his career opportunities. Elliot Anderson needs his time to shine. Alex, Billy, do you think he gets an opportunity Wednesday?
I would hope so. I'm not convinced he will, though.
The thing that makes me... I think he'll get a chance. I'm not sure he'll get a start. The thing that makes me question it is the fact that he withdrew Murphy after 1 hour. You know, Murphy played 59 minutes and then got withdrawn, which is quite early. He was tiring, but even so, that makes me wonder, is that specifically so he can play at least another hour against Everton? We shall see. I think Elliot Anderson, I'd be highly disappointed if he doesn't get any minutes against Everton. It needs to either be Murphy start with Anderson coming on or Anderson starting. I don't want to see Fraser starting if Fraser starts and scores, fine, I'll eat my words. But I just think if we're going on odds and most likely and form and what we've seen from them so far this season, I've got more faith in Murphy and Anderson at the moment. So I don't want to see Fraser in the starting lineup.
Haaland has only been voted 10th in the Ballon d'Or. Mental.
What a joke.
Just beyond Bruno Fernandes.
Yeah, I know.
Could I just mention, how did Ronaldo get 20th with 8? He scored 18 goals. 20th in the Ballon d'Or. Do you want to know who else got 18 goals? Callum Wilson got 18 goals for his best season for Bournemouth. I didn't see him getting in the top 20 Ballon d'Or for those 18 goals in the Premier League.
Strange, isn't it?
Yeah, funny that. Same goal tally, same league, in a weaker team.
Yeah.
Funny.
Not a big enough name. T-Rex is going to get slaughtered, says Lee. Grim says, Maxi has got pace, but is having hammy problems now. I'd shift him. 2 good games all year. Can't pass, can't shoot, and final decision-making is terrible.
What a ridiculous comment, man. What a ridiculous comment. It's not his fault he got injured. All right, let's just say the same to Isak and Wilson then.
Well, I think a lot of people are making comparisons, aren't they, with Wilson and Maxi now, because they're both very easily pick up injuries. We used to say we did say that Maxi was made of glass at times, and it seems to be the case. I don't agree with what he's saying about 2 games all year. I'm not saying that, but with the injuries, it is frustrating. But it's probably very frustrating for Maxi as well. We've seen the work he puts in the off season. Running up mountains in France and stuff.
We've just complained about Man United. I don't want to be I don't want to be a set of fans that complains about a player.
Yeah.
He's had one setback, and we're all going to joke. You literally said sell him. That comment mentioned essentially selling him because he's had an injury reoccurrence. Absolutely not. Absolutely.
Let's not forget his last 2 games where we tore a fantastic Manchester City side apart and then saved us at Wolverhampton Wanderers. His last 2 games were as good as games he's played. 2 good games a year. Well, he's got a long time to go without a good game then, hasn't he?
Yeah, certainly. Steve's going with 2-0 win. Can't see them scoring, so hopefully we'll get one fairly early and be able to take it fairly easy. I reckon Trippier will get another one over the wall in the corner where T-Rex can't reach. I mean, Højbjerg scored a goal on Sunday for Tottenham, and I said this, I think, on the show last night. I was astounded that it went in. How Pickford, it wasn't hit with real pace. Yes, the direction was good, but how Pickford didn't even get near it, didn't even get his little arms near it.
Deflected there, wasn't it? It took a deflection, didn't it?
Slightly, Billy. Slightly. Is that you?
When you've got slight arms like that, any slight.
Well, indeed.
You're struggling. Ain't
Absolutely,
you?
Yeah. Ab says, didn't we score 4 and the 5 goals before Man United's game? Yes, we did. So it's not like we're not scoring goals. Francisco, good afternoon. Over there in Puerto Rico. Alex, can you say that just to put the...
Puerto Rico.
There you go. And thank you for doing the voiceover again for the intro for tonight. I hope everyone in the chat and the mods have a great one. 3-0 to us, and the smiling Jackrabbit scores again. Obviously talking about Mr. Miggy. Jan says, must go all out for the Everton game. Spurs will be more difficult. I understand given history, but I feel he is a Hull player now, and that's different gravy. Let's hope he plays well on return. Not sure who he's talking about there. That could be anybody. Maxi. Okay. Jill says, please click the like button, subscribe, and join the family. Indeed, it is completely free to do so. The subscribers are going up, and we're heading towards that 15,000 mark, which will be simply incredible. So you guys are the only guys out there that can help us get there. Spread the word. Spread the word like the Bible. Praise be to the Toon Review. I could never be a reverend. Alex, that was a very dismissive closing of the eyes there. That was shocking. I'm trying to promote the channel.
No comment.
What the hell, man?
Let me hear you say, yeah.
See,
I wasn't
Billy's got it.
Easy go in that direction. It threw me.
Okay. Fair enough. Sean says, club is improving in every area apart from the medical department, it seems. Listen, it is like a voodoo over the club, isn't it, Billy? I mean, we've had this for so long.
Yeah, but we know how Eddie Howe trained the team, and we said the same thing about Bielsa and Leeds, didn't we? I think it's a similar kind of thing. We maybe fit as a butcher's dog, but we pick up injuries easier. You know, it's kind of twixt and between. Once that training ground's renovated and sorted out, then I think we'll see different results.
Yeah, Joe Willock did a very good interview in The Observer. If you haven't read it, I would recommend you go and read it after the show, of course. Ryan says, just saw the Instagram post from NUFC. I thought we signed Amad Diallo from Man United for a second. No, there's lots of, similar to Paulinho, there is quite a few Diallos out there, believe it or not. But we've signed a good one, mate. We've signed a good one.
And Traore is the biggest one, isn't it? I mean, Traore is a...
Oh, God, yeah. Do you remember that one that used to play for Liverpool? Jimmy, what a disaster he was.
Oh, dear.
Adam says, really pleased with the share news. He's willing to stick his nose in there time and time again. You rest Burn for Spurs, says Adam, asking a question, seeing whether I think Dan Burn will get rested at some point. I also think Lascelles, Alex, is going to come in at some point as well in these two games.
Yep. I mean, there's a lot of fringe players to talk about. Lascelles is one of them. Cher, got put through the ringer against Man United. He was a brilliant performance, but he got cramp. He got close to being knocked out. He got rough and tumbled. He fell down the bloody ramp. It was everything. Absolutely, he was in the wars. So he could do with a little rest. I think he's earned it.
Absolutely.
And Lascelles is club captain. And I'm not going to, unlike Fraser, I feel like Lascelles has given us a lot more when he's come on. Generally, when he played, was it his Liverpool performance, and when he came on for a few minutes the other day, he was poor against Fulham, but with the exception of his minutes against Fulham, he's been adequate when called upon. And as the club captain, we've got to give him a chance.
Yep. Whoever starts the games, we support. It's as simple as that. And then we can discuss the performances when the game's over. Tangy says, I still haven't seen the shirt pull on Burn. I heard about it, but the media refused to show it.
Yeah.
There was a picture on Twitter, I think, earlier on today showing it. And it did show Dan Burn did have a hold of, I think it was Casemiro, wasn't it? Did have a slight grip on his shirt, but bloody hell, Dan Burns was nearly ripped off him. Unbelievable. Cesare says, I don't get all the hatred that Everton gets. Just kidding. I hope they come back in their next lives with testicles for toes and coffee tables in every room. Dear me. Wow. Spacebar says, honestly, they're an embarrassment of a fan base. Of course, going back to Manchester United. Can't wait for us to score against Little Arms. Watched Ref Watch, and teams should have had penalties. Dermot Gallagher's passed it, man. He's done. Dave Smith says, Paul, very soon we are going to be so big like we've had a wagon load of Viagra. They won't be able to ignore us. How are the lads? Does that work? Does anybody know? I mean,
as long as we don't have wood in the side.
Well, no. But if we've got lots of Viagra, wood will probably be in the side, Billy, in more positions than one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, stiffen up the back four for certain.
Let's move on. Abs says Man City had a goal disallowed for the quickest shirt pull in history. No sustained pull of the shirt rule that time. Match fixing yet again.
Excellent point. We saw the one at Wolves, didn't we, on Sean Longstaff?
Yeah.
It is.
It's completely
more of a shirt pull than what Haaland did on Fabinho yesterday.
Absolutely. Ken says TalkSport could hardly bring themselves to discuss our game yesterday. Listened to the whole show this morning and barely a passing reference. I know. Evening, everyone. Did anyone hear Souness team of the week or Sourness team of the weekend on TalkSport top 6? What a wanker! Yeah,
I mean, Garth Crooks weren't much better. He had Martinez in it.
Yeah,
what?
I know. Yeah,
how?
I mean, exactly. Did you
As
see
a
some of the
strange enough?
Alex, I know you did the Chronicles player ratings on Twitter.
Oh yeah, you saw me have a go at the one.
Mate, if you hadn't had a go, I certainly would have, because I found it bizarre, giving Murphy a 6. I mean...
I think they gave Dan Burn a 7 and Murphy a 6.
Nick Pope got an 8. I mean, what did he do to deserve an 8? He didn't have an 8 game.
He made 2 saves and distributed it well. You've got to do... It's not that he didn't have to do more, but that's not, you've got to earn the rating.
Get pulled up quite a lot, to be honest, for their player ratings. Julie J says that Beth Mead has won 2nd place in the female Ballon d'Or. That's fantastic.
She's very good. Absolutely
brilliant. She's a very good player.
Who's won first then, if she's only got 2nd?
Well, I'm sure we'll find out.
I wonder if it's that German girl. I can't remember her name. That German midfielder. She's an absolute beast.
Yeah. Or it could be the American or the Canadian, whatever she is. Can't think what her name is.
Or it could be some of the viewers' favourite, Alicia Lehman. Never mind.
Well, Douglas Luiz is
Tangy says
his wife.
Yeah. At least Joe Linton hit the woodwork twice. As for Rashford, he couldn't hit a barn door. Well, I did listen to Mark Goldbridge on his show this morning, and he was saying that apparently he was getting a lot of flack on Twitter from Man United fans saying, "Oh, he's Ten Hag out," and all of this. And what Mark was saying was similar to what we have said on this show when we've criticised Eddie Howe for making mistakes. He's getting flack because he said that he shouldn't have brought Ronaldo off. He should have pulled Fred off, put Rashford on the left, Sancho through the middle, and then Ronaldo still up front. And Ronaldo probably would have scored that header, which I'm in no doubt about, to be honest.
Yeah.
But he said that because he made a comment about a manager making a mistake. People sort of gang up and say, "Oh, you want Ten Hag out," and it's nothing to do with that. It seems like every fan base is the same. When you criticise a manager for making a mistake, which they will do, you get into bother thinking that you want the manager out. It's mental. Oven Chips, good evening. The woman on She Devils United, not Maisie, said we had shithoused our way to draws all season. Wilson dived, Sancho was a penalty, and Ronaldo's goal should have stood. Crazy. The deluded, man. I'm telling you, they are deluded. They just think that everything should go their way. And
I'll tell you what else I've seen about Man United fans. They've been saying, quite a few of them. I've seen it on chat last night with the Man United fan that came in. You came and you parked the bus and this, that, and the other. It was much better when you used to come and give us a game and lose. They didn't put and lose, but that's what it was referring to.
Well, of course,
be plucky and gallant, but just fail to win.
Because they're so used to us, just basically parting like the Red Sea in the second half at Old Trafford, which we've done so in previous seasons, but we didn't this time, and they just hate it.
I've still got to say, we showed our average positions. We didn't park the bus.
No, we didn't. No,
we couldn't have. Keith says the London bias is bad enough without our so-called own spouting shite. John Anderson again saying Wilson dived. He also said Miggy did not mean the Van Basten volley. Radio Newcastle need another expert. Listen, I've heard John Anderson a few times this season, and you're right. He is. I don't know what is going on with him at the minute, but how he can possibly say Callum Wilson dived yesterday is a joke. Because it was not a dive. It was a clear hip check from Casemiro, who got away with quite a lot, let's be honest, during that match. And, Miggy definitely meant that volley. He was looking where he was putting the ball. How can you not mean it when you're looking in that direction? Try and give us a bit of, we get enough flack, as Keith says there, without, our own so-called expert babbling on saying that he dived. it's giving fuel to the fire for the Man United fans when they see a Newcastle United expert coming out and saying that Wilson dived. It's ridiculous, man. But as for the Man United fans that have, been calling me out for saying, oh, you're rolling around the floor injured and you're time wasting and all that. Anthony, what was that? A little brush. It was like, Dan Burn just stroked his chin and he went down like he was shot in the middle of the head.
Bruno Fernandes.
Well, we don't, yeah. And then, of course, Sancho's swan dive. What the hell was that, man?
I'll go as far as to say, we all applauded Marcus Rashford for his campaign for school meals and the lockdown. Fantastic. And yet he was the only Man United player yesterday that didn't make a meal of anything.
It's a good point. And, it just... It's frustrating, but this is what we're going to have to put up with for years to come, guys. It's simple as that. Samsonite says, I'm a little surprised to see so many tip Everton to get a goal. I honestly can't see where it had come from, given our current defensive form. I think Samsonite is just if we make some changes, just to, what it's like. The back four seem to have a really good understanding of each other at the minute, along with Nick Pope. And you make a couple of changes and it's all sort of here, there and everywhere for, 20 minutes or so until they settle down into the game. But, I'm expecting us to still be really, really strong. John says, how do you super chat money, Paul? There's a $sign at the bottom of the live comments. Tiny little $sign. You just press on that and that'll take you through the methods that you want to go, John. Andrew says, Silverstone will get us back on track. We've already done that, mate.
As long as it's not the pits, that's all we ask for.
You what, Billy?
As long as it's not the pits, that's all we ask for.
Well, yeah, we don't want it to be the pits. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Spacebar says, Talk Sport, powered by Man United fans. Mason says, I bet Paul is looking forward to seeing his favourite player playing blue and white on Wednesday. No, he's long gone, Mason. Long gone. History. He's dead to me. Jan says, put the ball in the top corners and T-Rex won't get there. Ali says, a win is what I want. I don't care how much, just a win. Andrew says, does Lascelles possibly come into the side on Wednesday with Spurs in mind at the weekend? Which game would you play Lascelles in, Alex? If you were Eddie Howe and you knew you were going to put him in one of these two games, which one would you think Lascelles would probably be better off in?
What, me, or what do I think Eddie Howe's going to do?
Well, you first, and then what you think Eddie Howe's going to do.
I would play him against Tottenham. I agree with a lot of the commenters. I would say play as strong a side as we possibly can against Everton to try and guarantee 3 points and just rotate and try and grind out whatever we possibly could against Tottenham. Because I think it's far more likely we can get a win against Everton. And I think we should throw everything at it to secure 3 points in this fixture. Whereas I think Eddie Howe might rotate. I wouldn't, but he gets paid the money and he often makes the right calls that we don't. So
yeah, absolutely. John says, sick and tired of John Anderson. How about Paul, Alex, or Billy? Well, I mean, to be honest, I'd love to do the commentating. But if I was alongside John Anderson and he came out with that crap, I'd tell him where to get off live on air. So I wouldn't know how long I'd last. But I basically wouldn't have a co-commentator saying that, he dived when he clearly didn't, and I'd call him up on that, and he should be called out on that. It's not right. But you know what it is? I would love to do it. I would love to, commentate. But if there's anybody out there needs a commentator, give me a shout, man. Go and look at the watch-alongs. Just get me out there. Anyway, Louis says, what if Shearer is commentating on Prime on Wednesday? Well, Billy's better than that. There you go. Simple as that, Louis. You've got to listen to Billy.
It was slightly better than me at playing football, but I'm a better commentator.
Yeah, but commentating's different, Billy. You've got the the wit and the one-liners that I think people like listening to, for the home games. So yeah.
But Shearer does have the funny lyrical one-liners, doesn't he, on Match of the Day?
Yeah, well, he does, yeah. Ian, thank you for another £5 super chat, buddy. He says, I listened to Total Sport tonight and John Anderson said it was a penalty. Yeah, he changed his mind. Listen, he definitely said yesterday during the commentary that he dived, and I think he's been made to look a fool, and by the time he's gone on the show tonight, he's then said it was a penalty. He can't say anything else. He simply can't, because it was a penalty. And he'll look an absolute doilum if he tried to, say, oh, I think he dived. No. Jack, good evening. Let's smash these Scouse Mackhams and dinosaur arms. How are the lads? Shearer commentated on the last game. Yep, but he's not as good as Billy. Spacebar says he might not play against us. He normally gets dropped because we live rent-free in his head. Yeah, I mean, I think he was conveniently injured last time, wasn't he? That Everton came up here. Was he injured? No.
Did he play last year?
No, he wasn't.
No, I don't think he played, did he? I think, did Begovic play?
Was it not Begovic down at Goodison? When he yes, attached himself to the. So all he says, the station will be shut down with Paul's commentary. Well, I'd have to obviously, just ease off the sayings. I mean, but I'd still say some of the things like, he bolted out there like a rented mule, or he shaved my face with a rusty razor. They're not illegal things to say. James says, I'm sure I've just heard the Ballon d'Or commentator call Lewandowski a porn star. Wow. Okay. Is he not just drinking a porn star? The cocktail. It is a cocktail, isn't it? Somebody help me out here.
Porn star
yes,
martini. So. Yes, it is.
All right, thank you. Yes. Ben says they should play the Jurassic theme to just before kickoff to wind Pickford. That would be quality. Can you imagine? Can you imagine that starts playing at St James's Park? Just after local hero finishes, just as they're about to kick off, and then there's a big roar from a T-Rex. Oh,
or Barney
comes out.
The theme tune to Barney comes on.
Yeah.
I love you.
They should delay our lads coming out and let Everton come out first and then play that. Yeah.
Brilliant. Jason says he's going for a 4-0. I think we'll break them down early. I think if we do score early, I think it could be a 3 or 4. I really do, because I think Newcastle will want to absolutely thump them. And I think the fans will generate that noise inside. Because you can't, listen, it's under the lights. It's a nighttime game at St James's. You just cannot beat it. It's fantastic. And the atmosphere will be tremendous. I've got no doubt about that. Grim says we have too many players whose final decision-making is terrible. Maxi, Miggy, Joe Linton and Longstaff.
Your name is Grim Trousers. This has got to be a troll now. You want to get rid of Miggy scored 4 goals. Who did he say as well? Joe Linton as well?
Maxi, Joe Linton and Longstaff.
Oh, we'll just get rid of everyone then, shall we? We'll just rip up the notebooks. We'll sell the lot. We'll start again.
Yeah, absolutely.
What on earth? There's got to be a Man United fan in disguise. It's got to be. There's no way.
No. Pete says can only see a single goal in this game against the Toffees.
Could be that way.
It could be like that if we struggle to break them down. It could be one of those games. But listen. Let's hope not, and let's hope we just get the early goal. And they have to come out at us. And if they have to come out at us, we can catch them all the time. Ali thinks Shelby will be given a few minutes on Wednesday. Possibly.
He's not going to start though, is he?
No, but I think he might start the Palace game though in the Carabao. I think there's an opportunity there to start him, give him some minutes. Keith says, good evening, guys. Wonder if we're going to see Shelby for a run out. Bit early, but 2-0 to the Toon.
I mean, it might be a good choice to bring on. If we're struggling to break them down and 20 minutes to go, bring him on as a number 6 and push Bruno and them further forward. It could be an opportunity for him to kind of get a few minutes in his legs and benefit the team at the same time.
Absolutely. Your mate Grimm's back again, Alex. We should try playing Maxi in a Beardsley or Gascoigne sort of position.
No, we can't. He's injured.
Well, he's injured, yeah. So he's not. John says, F me, we've got some big players out and we're 6th in the league. Absolutely. That's what it's all about. Jimmy Rousseau. Hi, guys, please. Is there any way we can play 2 up top against Everton?
Yeah, we'd have to change the manager because Eddie Howe says he's not going to play 2 up top.
Yeah. Grimm's also looking forward to seeing Bruno and Shelby playing in the same lineup.
Well, Peaky Blinders.
Shelby.
Yeah, interesting. And anybody know who the ref is for Wednesday? Actually, I don't. I haven't seen that. Alex is on it.
Stan Boardman.
Yeah, probably. Andrew says, think Anderson has been on the verge of being ahead of Fraser if he's given a chance and does well. Yeah, I really do. Neil says, I hope War Flags have a T-Red, or so it should be a T-Red
Tony
flag
Harrington.
for the weekend. Who?
Tony Harrington.
We've had him before. I can't think when it was.
we?
It might have been, it might have been the Palace game.
Charlie Case is taking me granddad to the match on Wednesday. He hasn't been in years, so hoping for a win. Fantastic, Charlie. Come and say hello before the game by the Jackie Milburn stand. It'd be nice to put names to faces to names, I should say.
Is it stand or statue? Is it the Milburn stand or the Milburn statue you stand by?
Statue. What did I say?
You always say stand.
It's a stand
every time.
All right, kiss my ass. I want the Jackie Milburn stand. All right.
Statue.
It is I know, but I'm saying I would love a No, I'm getting mixed up now myself. Piss off, Billy.
We can have another stand when we expand, and then you can have
yes.
It'll be fine.
All right. The Jackie Milburn statue just next to the club shop was where you can find me before a game. You bellends. Right. Solly says, I do believe with Anderson that until Eddie has worked on improving the role and understanding, he may not want to risk him coming across as a flop and ruining any prospects for the future. I don't think that's the case. You've got to start
him at some stage. Come on,
exactly.
You can't keep him in cotton wool forever. Give him a go.
Yeah, I agree. Tangy says VAR is going to be Andre Mariner. I know that, but the referee himself I've never heard of. Well, it's Mr. Harrington. Mr. Harrington. To coin a phrase, wants to know, will Almiron ever be rested? He's an ever-ready battery. Why do some players need to be rested every 3 days and others play every minute?
Well, that's down to genetics. A lot of it. It's down to your role in the team. It's down to the position. It's down to the tactical instructions, who your opposite man is, how much sleep you've been having, how much food you've had, who you are genetically. There's so much will go into that. And some are going to be able to run more than others. It's just how it works. And Miggy's got cracking genetics and he can just run for days. It's just...
Yeah.
He's been like that even under Steve Bruce, though. He was able to do similar things.
Listen, he was like that for Atlanta United. The guy just runs. But of course, he had Martinez at Atlanta as well, so he had a hell of a combination with him. Call Me Swift says, I think people forget that Maxey's a flair player that people look to wipe out when he's on the ball. Of course, he's going to pick up injuries, and his decision making has gotten much better. I actually agree with that. He has got better. And listen, as we said, I think it was last night we said, if you look at Maxey himself, when he got injured, he was banging form. He was playing really, really well. He'd had a consistent few games. It was just unfortunate that he got injured. Lee says, are we doing Movember, guys? All canny tashes on the screen. Might be a good shout for the food bank. Listen, I'm not sure how mine grows quite quick, and I'm not sure that a Yeti is something people want to see on a screen, to be quite honest. And I'm not sure it's something Susan wants to wake up next to one morning as a bloody big hairy Yeti. Guys?
I guess we could.
I mean, I've already got a beard, so.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. We all have, but I mean.
Sorry, Billy, you just drifted off there.
I saw it, yeah. I saw it just flickering off like it was a disco. I suppose I could take this bottom bit out and have a bit of a Seth Armstrong, from the wall pack.
Seth from the wool pack. There's a blast from the past.
Maybe we should all just go bleach blonde like Bruno and Joe Linton.
Yeah, I don't like it. It gets really sore and itchy and bleh. I just can't be bothered at the minute, which is why but we'll see. We'll see. John says, Charlie, this has got to be better than having to watch Coronation Street or Emmerdale. Indeed. Indeed. Has Bruno signed his new contract yet? We have no news on that at all. Kenzie says, Maxey can have a rest during the World Cup. Hopefully have him fit and firing after that. Any news on Bruno's Ben? Nothing yet either. That's something which... is hanging over it's hanging over Bruno at the minute, isn't it? Sort of when's it going to happen kind of thing.
Well, hopefully tomorrow. Let's hope it's tomorrow or Thursday.
Yeah, either side of the game, either side. But either way, we hope it goes.
Would he play? Would he play on Wednesday if his son's born on Tuesday?
Well, yeah, of course he would. Yeah. I don't say it. As long as it's the match. Oh, my internet's down to 1 bar. Have I gone blurry?
Not
A
yet.
little bit.
Have you? Oh, you have
No.
now.
Oh,
Are you still there, though?
yeah. It'll come back there. It's come back now. So, all is good. We've got Arturo here saying that we have to get Diaby. The way if Maxi gets injured, we have another, either Almiron or Diaby for his position. Interesting. Anyway, Alex, here we go with your graphics. Take it away.
Right. So this is our lineup from the game we've just played.
Mm-hmm.
We have our bench options that are the most likely sort of people to come in. So I mean, we can do it. We can do it together, but why not? So I'm personally going to pop Willock in for Longstaff. I think that's a natural change. I think hopefully Willock's over his illness. I think that's very, very logical. I think it's likely that Lascelles comes in for Share. I would imagine Botman will stay in. It's either going to be Byrne as a centre back or Botman as a centre back, and you would imagine that Target will come in and start and get minutes. And then those are the kind of obvious ones, and then beyond that, it gets a bit trickier. It's unlikely he's going to change the goalkeeper, I would imagine. And then what happens beyond that? Murphy, it could be Fraser, it could be Anderson. It just depends on what he wants to do. The fact that he took Murphy off after 59 minutes against Man United suggests he's probably going to get minutes somewhere. Does Miggy play again? There were rumours that he had a little bit of illness and he wasn't quite up to his usual self. He was still good against Man United, but yeah. And then the big question as well is Wilson for Wood. Who starts? Who comes on as the sub? Vice versa. And this, I think, is going to be the general gist of it. Obviously, there's nobody to replace Trippier unless he does funny target at right back things again. Which I've
just seen what you've done with Conor Cody's name there. You're very funny, Alex. Yeah, absolute comedic value every time.
Oh, okay, yeah. So we've got Paul's fave, Conor Cody, leading the defense there, and then Tyrannosaurus Rex in goal, of course. So yes. This is the formation they've played against sort of stronger teams recently. This is their last lineup with a 5-3-2 with Neil Maupay and Gray up front. Midfield is a lot better than it was when we've last played them with Onana and Idrissa Gueye back at the club. Much more competent midfielder after he rotted on the PSG bench, was it? Yeah. And yeah, a lot more. They have upgraded a lot of positions, which is why they're doing a lot better than they were last year. McNeil as a wing back is interesting. Slightly underrated player. I know his numbers aren't there in terms of output, but interesting as a wing back. Mikalenko's tidy as well. So they're not terrible. And if we go and have a look, interestingly enough, let's scroll in so people can see this. Their top 10 rated statistical players, you've got goalkeeper, defender. Hey, there we go. We've got somebody who's not a defensive player.
That says a lot.
Yeah, and the top 2 rated players are both goalkeepers as well. So it does go to show slightly. They've had an interesting run of form recently. Generally would be expected to lose to Tottenham and Manchester United. Managed to pick up 2 very impressive wins against West Ham and Southampton, which was very good for them. And then the rest was a lot of draws. But they're not conceding too much. But if we scroll over to some other stats, if I can get this to play ball.
By the way, Alex, Alexia Putellas won the Women's Ballon d'Or, the Barcelona player.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. I forgot about her. That makes sense. That's fair. So clean sheets, only 2 is all right, but we've got 4. So, yeah. More importantly, errors leading to shots, 3. Errors leading to goals, 1. 2 penalties committed, 2 penalties conceded. They have mistakes in them. They're there to be had at, and we are one of the leading teams for touches in the opposition penalty area. We are a nuisance. We get a lot of corners, a lot of set pieces, and I think this is going to be to our advantage. Yes, they have a back 3. They have a reasonably solid defense. But the kind of deficiencies they have, I think we've got the right strengths, even without some of our bigger players, I would hope. We've only conceded 1 penalty all season, and that was the Dan Burn accidental arm in the air. So is that really even tripping people over in the box? Not really.
No, it's not a Jamal. It's not a Jamal Lascelles. What the hell?
Because why not?
Oh dear. Oh my God.
I had a dinosaur curry last night.
You what, Billy?
I had a dinosaur curry last night.
Did you really?
I had a megasaurus this morning.
Oh dear God. Do you know? I should have known that was coming. I would have gone down to 1 bar again. I'm sorry.
Even though I've turned the tactical board off, we still do have to be careful of Idrissa Gueye and not Idrissa Gueye. What's Gray's first name again? It's completely lost.
Damari.
That's the one. Damari Gray and Neil Maupay. We've got to respect them somewhat. They're not poor forwards. They are competent. This is a better Everton side than we faced. So the centre backs, whoever lines up, Lascelles has got to be focused and switched on because he's got Maupay or Onana, potentially McNeil overlapping on that side. It's not terrible, and they've got offensive threat as well. You know, Cody and Tarkowski are threats from set pieces. We do have to show them a lot more respect. We shouldn't have lost that away game last season. That was frustrating because they were a poor team.
Listen, we all know what happened last time we played at Goodison was the fact that idiot.
Yeah,
that knocked us off our stride because if you remember that game, we were playing really well up until that incident happened, and then it just knocked us off our stride. It shouldn't have, but it did. And you know, I think we would have won that game had that not happened.
I agree. But this time they are a bit stronger.
Yeah,
but we still should have enough to beat them. And as a few viewers have already said, if we can try and score in the first half an hour, then we can try and make it 3 or 4. It's very possible. Once we've opened the front door once, they're going to have to start, coming out, and then we can apply more pressure and find spaces. So hopefully we can get an early goal, and that'll be the key to winning the game.
Yeah. Okay. Scan says, have you seen that we are negotiating with Castoria to see if we can get out of the shirt deal we have? It needs to be agreed by both sides, but if we do, we could sign a much more lucrative deal. Yeah, there is talks ongoing. Right, guys, we've got over 800 watching tonight, which is incredible. Again, thank you so much for your company tonight. If you are enjoying the show, as usual, please do hit that like button and let YouTube know that something fantabuloso is going on this channel. And, of course, if you're new and you like what you see and you want to be part of this community, please do hit the subscribe button, which is free to do so. And, of course, the notification bell, which will let you know when we go live or we upload a video. Again, you can become a member of the channel if you so wish by hitting the join button, which is just underneath the video itself. Or if you're on iOS, you might have to nip across to Instagram, find the Toon review on there, click on the link, which will take you to a desktop version where you can hit the join button. And, of course, you can continually donate to the channel if you do wish by hitting the $ at the bottom of the live comments, and that will take you through to your preferred payment method. And, of course, we do merchandise, and this is the place you find it.
So let's get down to business. I've been waiting, think I wanna make that move now. Baby, tell me if you like it. Tell me if you like it now. I've been waiting, think I wanna make that move now. Baby, tell me how you like it. Let's get down to business.
There you go, guys. The toonreview.co.uk to go and browse or peruse the merchandise. I thought that word would impress you, Alex, there, coming out with such a word as peruse. Tony says, years ago, I had a discussion with a Man United fan after our 5-0 thrashing of them. He managed to strike off every goal we scored. They've been delusional for years. That's not wrong at all, actually. They have been delusional.
Even Taggart after that game, Connor said that they had 5 or 6 breakaway attacks and scored from all of them, didn't he?
Yeah,
he was really sore that day. Old Taggart, old whiskey nose.
Stephen, good evening to you, buddy. John Anderson also wouldn't give praise for Bruno's second goal against Brentford, saying it was the goalkeeper's fault. He does seem to have some sort of strange vendetta at the minute. I don't know what it is with him, but there you go. It just happens. Right, it is now time for the predictions. Hang on a minute. Julie says here, Paul can't be constrained by mainstream media. He needs to be free and independent. I suppose that's right. Yes. Swankzilla says, can't listen to Paul without Alex there to roll his eyes on my behalf. Oh, Jesus Christ almighty. Honestly. John says, Billy, you would have been tremendous as a centre half. Well, he was. Well, his twin was.
Yeah.
Razor Ruddock, of course. Jamie the Hammer, good evening to you. I saw that South Shields are at home against League One side Forest Green Rovers. Gates said if they win their replay at home to Altrincham, they will be at League Two side Stevenage. Yeah, it's a great draw for South Shields, actually. Of course, managed by Kevin Phillips, he's doing all right, I think. So it's a good draw for them. And of course, Gateshead as well. 2-2 was the score in their game against Altrincham at the weekend. So they will obviously have a replay back at the International Stadium to see if they can get through. And of course, meet League Two side Stevenage in the first round of the FA Cup. Cesare, thank you for your 35 South African
Rand.
It could be. Congratulations to our Thomas Nielsen on becoming a new dad of a set of twins. Boys and a girl. Well done, Thomas. Absolutely fantastic news, matey. Obviously, he took a break from Modern from the channel because obviously he has his hands full. And certainly moving forward, will have his hands full with a set of twins. That is absolutely fantastic news, Thomas. All the best and best of health to the twins and, of course, your good lady and the very, very best for the future, matey. That is fantastic news. And thank you, Cesare, for sharing that with us. Geordie Metal, thank you very much for your £20 super chat. He says it's going to be hard for win 1-0 with Elliott scoring the winner after coming on as substitute. I don't want squeaky bum time. I want us to hammer them. We've had too much squeaky bum time going on recently on this channel. Gary says we can't be having any nuns knickers comments in the mainstream media. Well, why not? Give the punters a good laugh.
Ricky Gervais is allowed to do it, then Paul's allowed to do
Absolutely. Well said, Alex. Right, it is now time for team lineup predictions. We'll do the team lineups before we go into the score predictions. I'll go first with my predicted team lineup tonight. And I think we're going to go with Nick Pope, Kieran Trippier, left back. I think Matty Targett's going to come back in for the Everton game. Centre backs, I am going to... I think he'll play Botman and Lascelles. I think he's going to rest Fabian Schär for the Tottenham game. I know Alex would hope he'd do it the other way around, but that's what I think he'll do. Not what he will do, of course, because you can never second guess anyhow. And I've gone blurry again, but it will recover. Midfield, I'm going for... I think Longstaff will retain his place. Joe Linton and Willock. I think Bruno is going to miss out. That is probably because of medical reasons for his wife. But let's hope. But like we said earlier, it could happen, tomorrow or the day after the game. And the front three for me, I think he goes with Murphy, Wilson, and Miggy. I don't think he's going to change that front three. So that's my predicted team lineup. Alex?
Pope in goal. I think it'll be Target, Botman, Lascelles, and Trippier. So I think Lascelles comes in for Schär, and I think a Target comes in for Burn. And then the midfield, I think he goes for Bruno, Joe Linton, and Willock. I think Willock comes in. I think he's ready to come and start again. I'd be very surprised if Willock doesn't start. And I do think Bruno and Joe Linton will probably play. I'd be surprised if they don't. But
I'm only putting Bruno out because of the situation with his wife. If there isn't any, if there's no situation there or immediate situation, then he plays.
You would have had him in.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the front three, I agree with you. I think you'll start Murphy, Wilson, Miggy. I think Murphy starts because he got taken off early. I think Wilson starts because he got taken off before the end as well. I think it was 78 minutes.
Yeah.
I think Miggy stays as well. I think it will be, this is, to be fair, this is one of the positives of us having the 5 substitutes rule this season. And for us, we can kind of swap it around. We can do, even a triple sub at half time if we really want to. And then we've still got 2 more substitutions we can make. So, yeah.
Indeed.
So very similar to yours, but with Bruno.
Yeah.
And Will.
Yeah. Billy?
Yeah, Pope in goal, Trippier and Target Ryan left back. I think if he plays Lascelles, I think he may play Burn next to him like he did Liverpool. Because I know
you think he'd leave Botman out again.
Just resting for the Spurs game. I wouldn't myself. I think if he plays Burn, that's what will happen.
Yeah,
myself personally, I'd play Botman
Yeah.
and I'd play the full strength side. I'd go with Botman and Cher. I'd go with Bruno, Willock, and Joe Linton, and the same front three as used to. So, but I think if he does play Lascelles, I think he'll play Burn with him personally. But I don't think he will. I think he'll play Cher and Botman.
I don't like the idea of having no Botman, no Cher, and no Bruno, because that's three of our best passers.
Yeah, exactly.
Besides Trippier out of the first 11, we need.
I think you'll see this game as a game we can definitely win, more so than the Spurs game. So I think he'll put his eggs in the one basket. I do honestly. I think he'll play Botman and Cher.
That's not to say that he won't go to Tottenham wanting to win the game, of course, because he's not like that, is he? He will go no matter what team he puts out to win the game. He's already said that he doesn't go down to draw games or lose games. He goes to win.
Yeah, this is different though, isn't it? He can say that when the games are weekend, but this is 3 days later. This is trickier.
It is. But listen, it'd be interesting what he says in his press conference tomorrow morning, isn't it? I mean, just what he's interesting to see hear what he says, but he'd probably not give much away anyway. He'll just talk about who's definitely out, and then he'll not give anything else away. Right. I see Chipper's websites are trying to get in again. Can we get rid of those, please, mods? Thank you very much. Right, it's score prediction time, and we will go with Alex first. Hang on a minute, Billy, your lips are looking rather pink.
Thank you very much.
Do what you've just done again. Alex, is that just me, or are his lips extremely pink?
I think they're the correct color for.
Okay, let's move on.
Skin.
Okay, Alex, your prediction for the score.
I'm going to go with 3-0.
3-0?
I think 3-0.
What the hell?
And I think it'll be Joe Linton, Willock, and Miggy. I think Wilson's going to miss out again because of the three centre-backs. He's going to get crowded. And it will fall to other players like, Joe Linton, Willock, and Miggy. 3-0.
Okay. Andrew says Billy's been using the Chris Hall Avon lipstick. Yes, Chris Hall, of course, from Loaded, likes selling Avon. Apparently, I don't know anything about that. Chris, I apologise. I do not know. But I've seen the lads take the mickey out here for Avon many, many times. Kieran's going with a 2-0 win with Wilson and Miggy. George is saying 3-0. Paul Sales is going 4-0. That's pretty incredible. Julie's saying if people can report the spam as well, the quicker we get rid of idiots like that. Well, they're not idiots. It's just a bot, to be honest. But that happens. Solly's going 5-0, and I'm staying with that score every game until we get it. Okay. Scanter's going 2-1 with Miggy and Joe Linton to score. Billy, what's yours?
I think it goes one of two ways. I think we struggle to break them down and hope for a late goal, but I think we will break them down early, and I think we'll beat them 2-0.
Okay. And the scorers?
I'm going to say Murphy and Bruno.
Okay. John's back door's going 2-0 to the Toon. Mary's going 4-0. 3-0 says Gary. 3-0 says Julie. Paul says, fuck it, 5-1 to the Toon. Back-to-back home big wins. Foxy's going 1-0 with Willock in the injury time. Louis says 3-1 Newcastle. 2-0. Another 2-0 and another 2-0. Andrew says a sense of 40-yard bullet coming against Everton. But we need your score, Andrew. Come on. Ali's going 2-0. Jackie's going 2-1. Russell says 3-0 as well with Miggy 2 goals and a Joe Linton. Yeah, that would be nice. Toon Dave's gone 3-0 with Botman to get at least one. He is due one. Jesus Christ. He certainly is. John Steele is going 1, 2, or 3. Andrew's actually gone 1-0 instead of 7, which is incredible. Dan Kane, good evening to you or afternoon.
This will be the day we get 7 now.
I know, it probably will. Solly says a lot of players due a goal. Willock, Botman, Wilson, Joe Linton, etc. Everybody is staggered at Andrew's score prediction of only 1-0. But listen, if he wins 7-0, you can go 1-0 every week, buddy. Matt Fletcher says 5-1. So 2-0 says Tangy. Interesting. There's a lot of big wins coming in there in the comments. I'm going for 2-0. I don't really think it's going to be a hammering. I think it's hard to say because I said earlier on, if we score early, we could get a few goals. And I do stand by that. But I think, Everton will make it very, very difficult for us. And we have, in the past, struggled when they've parked the bus. Brentford didn't park the bus. Thomas Frank's not that kind of manager. But, the Palace, to a degree, did, and certainly Bournemouth did, made it very, very difficult for us. So it's going to be tough, but I still think we win the game. Nathan's gone 7-0 just to fill the void. So well done, Nathan. I Like Coffee says 5-0. Martian leader Richie's going for a 4-0 with Bruno, Big Joe, Miggy, and Botman to score the goals. Ronald Wood is going 4-0 as well. And Andrew says he's saving the 7 for the Spurs game. Julie says maybe an own goal by the mercenary Rondon, forgetting which club he plays for. Interesting. Yeah,
it'll be interesting to see if Lampard does the same as what Bournemouth did and plonk someone straight, maybe just a guy straight onto Joe Linton and stop him from playing.
Absolutely.
That's where they go forward.
Yeah. Dan Kane says Bruno will have baby on Tuesday, score on Wednesday, and do the baby celebration. So there you go. That would be interesting with the old thumb in the mouth.
He did do the baby celebration when he scored for Brazil when she first got pregnant, when it was the announcement. So it could happen. You never know.
Indeed. Larry Strawberry says it's got to be 3-0 to the Toon, and Barbara's going for 3-1 to the Toon. So everybody literally saying we're going to win the game. I haven't seen any draws come in there. I haven't seen anybody saying Everton's going to win the game. This is completely different to what we're used to, given where we were this time last year. It's just incredible. Thinking that we're hardly going to concede goals. Billy,
if we lose this, it's a disaster.
Yeah, the comment the big right hands just made. It's absolutely superb.
Oh yeah, Toon to win by 12 boobies to 0 sounds strange, doesn't it? Yes, very funny, very funny. Right, that is it. As usual, guys, if you have enjoyed tonight's show, please hit the like button. It really does mean the world to us and moves us up those search results. We've got some great shows coming for you this week. Tomorrow night, of course, the fan forum. We'll get the usual chaps on and hopefully some newbies to come on and chat to us about the previous games and, of course, the Wednesday night game against Everton. Wednesday night, of course, Billy will be live with you from 7 o'clock. Half an hour build up to the game, going through the team news and any interesting decisions on the teams, which there probably will be. And then from 7:30, full commentary of the 90 minutes with Billy Bob. So it's on Amazon, but like I said, knock the commentary off, watch the game, and listen to Billy's commentary, and you'll have a fantastic night that way instead of listening to the crap that they put on all the time. Thursday night, we have, of course, the review of the Everton game. So the four of us will be back for that one. Of course, that will include the play ratings. Friday night is a little bit different this week because Friday night, we're going on a little bit earlier, around about 7 o'clock on Friday evening. We're going to do like a 45 minutes preview for the Tottenham game. And then a little break, and then at 8 o'clock, TDR Friday. So 2 shows on Friday night. So we're putting in the shifts for you this week. So it'd be great if you could join us and show your appreciation for that. So Friday night should be a good laugh, a really good laugh. And we know what Billy's like he lives for a Friday night now. He lives for TDR Friday. So do join us for that. If you have enjoyed tonight's show, as usual, guys, please do subscribe. It is free to do so. And hit that notification bell, which will let you know when we go live or we upload any videos. And, of course, join us for the rest of the week. I will be bringing a video out as well tomorrow for the press conference reaction, so don't miss that one. Thank you to Alex and Billy for your company tonight. Mod Squad, fantastic work as usual. And to all you guys out there, thank you very much for watching. Your super chats, your memberships, your continued support of the channel. It is incredible. And me and Billy and hopefully Danielle will see you tomorrow night at 8:30. Enjoy the rest of your Monday evening and Tuesday. We'll see you then. Take care.
How are the lads and lasses?